Alafia, and welcome once again to the online IFA classroom. For those of you that don't know, my name is David Graham. I also go by Awo Ifa Foray at the IFA Foundation International. And today I want to do a very brief piece on the morning prayer cycle or the daily prayer ritual. I find that when the universe gives me several people that ask for the same content at the same time, it's normally someone telling me that this information needs to be handed down or passed out, and hopefully make people's spiritual practice better. Let me emphasize, first of all, that my way is not the way. I don't personally believe that there is a the way. There are ways that will work for some and ways that will work for others. My way is simply a way of doing this. I believe very strongly that it's important to incorporate into our IFA practice or our spiritual discipline daily prayer. And I also believe very strongly that for most people, that time to connect is going to be best in the morning before the hustle and bustle, before the kids are up, before work begins, before the cell phone begins ringing, etc., etc. Best time to connect is before any distraction, when our brain is fresh and clear. And so what follows is my version of a daily prayer meditation. I should also say that keep in mind I'm an initiated Babalao, which means I'm an Ifa priest, which means that my prayers may differ from some, especially those that are non-initiates, and that's fine. This is a guideline. Hopefully it helps you, provides you with some insight. Feel free to take it, use it, make it your own, modify it. But this is what I do every day. I wake up and I prefer to have a cup of coffee with me when I'm doing my morning prayers. That's just how I do my thing. You can certainly have a glass of fresh water or whatever is going to help you be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed so that you can focus with the connections that you're making in the morning. My daily prayers are in English. Because that's my native tongue. That's what I feel most comfortable speaking. If you want to memorize, Oriki in Yoruba, that's fine. If you speak a language other than English and you want to use that, that's fine too. The point is that you are sincere. Your intent is in alignment with IFA's worldview, and that you convey the appropriate information. So I begin my prayers by giving thanks first and foremost to Olodumare, who is in Ifa. If you've watched the rest of the videos, you understand that it is a monotheistic tradition. We believe in one God, one supreme creative force. You'll also find that in Ifa we don't do a whole lot as far as sacrifices or Reiki, etc. to Olodumare. And the reason for that is that it is understood that that energy is simply too vast for mankind to understand. So we simply give our praise, our love, and our thanks, and we move on. Next up, I will pray to Eshu, who we'll do another piece on later, but Eshu is the crossroads. He is the glue between the visible and the invisible. He is the energy of opportunity. Again, giving love, thanks, veneration, asking to align my body, mind, and spirit, align me to my highest destiny, do not confuse me on my journey, and help me to connect in a deeper way. Next, I'll pray to the energy of Ella. For those of you that are not familiar, the simplest way to describe Ella to you is if Orunmila is the prophet of Ifa, the physical manifestation of all that Ifa has to offer, then Ella is the spirit that guided or manifested through Orunmila during his time on earth. It is the ever-present connection to Olodumare and the ability to know things, to see things, and to connect to spirit at a higher level. And so we evoke Ella, ask him to descend upon me for the day, to guide me in my actions, in my life, in my journey, and once again give love and thanks. Next, I pray to Orunmila, again as a Babalao. He is, or that energy is the pinnacle of what we strive for. And I ask for wisdom, knowledge, understanding, compassion, empathy, and the ability to apply all of that to my life, as well as Orunmila's blessings and my love and my thanks. Next thing I do is I pray to my Ori. Again, asking to connect to my highest self, my highest purpose, my best destiny. I ask for all the good things in life: health, wisdom, prosperity, abundance, love, peace. Um, and again, my thanks and my love. And for the record, when I do this, this is strung into one long prayer, one long morning meditation. The other question I get is, do I need to say this out loud? Well, need and want are two totally different things. I think when you start out, you should say this out loud. Ifa very much believes in the power of the word um, in order to get results and in order to focus your ashe or your intent. I think once you've been doing this for a while, it's sufficient to say it in more of a meditative state, even a soft song or cadence. But you'll want to go back to the oral prayer every now and again to really drive the point home. After my Ori, it's important to give love and praise and respect to our ancestors, all of those who have come before us, whose blood flows through our veins. I make sure to specifically include my guardian ancestor, as I know who that is. If you don't, you can simply thank your guardian ancestor for walking this journey with you, for taking the time to watch over you and guide you. And again, offer your love, your thanks. And if you have any special needs, being careful to examine, again, the difference between needs and wants, you can bring them to your ancestors at this time. After that, I will give love and praise and thanks to all of the Orisha, all of the guides to consciousness underneath the Creator. These are also all of the different aspects of nature, different aspects of the Creator that are materialized in nature. And in Ifa, we have different days of the week for different Orisha. I'll get into that at another time, but I will specifically single out the Orisha of the day at that time. And if I have the shrine, I will go to the shrine and thank the Orisha, offer my love, my thanks. Typically a glass of cool water and a white candle or a candle in the color of the Orisha. Another question I get a lot is, do you make ebos every day? And the answer is no, I don't make ebos every day. I make ebos when they are called for by divination or when it's appropriate. I'll give you an example of when it's appropriate that you don't need to divine. If I have a friend or family member who's going in for surgery, and I know that Ogun owns metal objects such as the scalpel, the knife, the operating room, it is more than appropriate to go to your shrine to Ogun and ask for Ogun's blessings, that the surgery goes smoothly, that the doctor's hand is steady, that the loved one has the strength to recover quickly, etc., etc. And offer something. For an example, shea butter, oil, something that would involve soothing or smoothing for that person. Bearing in mind, it's also, I think, appropriate and I think expected that when that person comes out of surgery and they're recuperating on schedule, that you go back to Ogun and you offer something as a thanks, whether it's liquor, a cigar, both, etc. But I said all that to say that this is your spiritual practice. This is your connection to Orisha or to Ifa. If on a given day you feel that an ebo of something is appropriate to an Orisha and you get a voice inside to do it, then that's what you should do. I don't do ebos every morning because, simply put, there's probably not enough hours in the day to do everything that I want to do. But I do the morning prayer every day. The other thing that's nice about the prayer is it is the one thing that you can always take with you besides maybe your day. You can do it in a hotel room. You can do it at a friend's house. As long as you have quiet and you have 15 or 20 minutes of undisturbed time, it's a good way to settle you in for the day, to focus your mind, body, and spirit. It's also a good way to start the day really thinking about the things that are important in this land where we get so sidetracked, again, from the cell phone to the internet to the TV to now we have the Apple Watch, and just a world full of distractions to suck us into social media and all those things that, while they may have some entertainment value, I think Ifa would probably say that it's important to focus on the most important things first. And that is our connection to spirit, our connection to one another, our connection to the earth, to the Orisha, etc. Anyway, I didn't mean to digress. So, praise to the Orisha of the day specifically. If you have that Orisha or you have that shrine, you can certainly go there. Make ebos as seem appropriate. Next, I will give thanks and I will ask the blessing of the Iyami. Again, we can talk about this more at a later date. EME is a touchy subject in Ifa, but the bottom line is that that energy, while it can be chaotic and have chaotic influences, can also be very powerful and very healing and very protective. And so I ask for that energy to protect me and to heal me and to help me avoid the chaotic side of that in my life. I give love and praise to Onile, Onile being the Yoruba term for the energy of the earth, and the idea that we are in a literally symbiotic relationship with the earth, with all the creatures on the earth, with one another at all times. And the earth being the great teacher, the teacher of all the lessons that we need. And I personally ask to have my eyes opened, have my senses cleared, learn the lessons that the earth is teaching. And I ask for all of us as a people to take better care of the earth so that we do not have to learn the hard lessons one day. From there, I pray for all of my spiritual elders, my Oluo, all of my spiritual teachers, all of those teachers teaching Ifa and teaching other spiritual paradigms, because it is so important that if you're going to be a spiritual teacher, that you are connected yourself in a very true and real way, and that you are passing down the right information to the people that you are teaching. Knowledge is power, and it can be used to change the world, and it can be used to destroy the world. Finally, I pray for, my prayer is for all beings everywhere to be happy, joyous, and free. And what that means to me is that all people would connect to spirit at a deeper level, that they would learn to live again in harmony with this universe, in harmony with one another, in harmony with the planet, with the animals, with the aspects of nature, regardless of color, creed, race, ethnicity, political views, religious views, etc. And then I wrap it up. And that usually takes me, depending on the day, 10 minutes to 30 minutes. But there's your morning spiritual practice, or there's my morning spiritual practice in a nutshell. Again, you can find out there on the internet or on Amazon books on Oriki if you would like to say the prayers in Yoruba. I think that it helps me personally to know the Oriki, understand what they are, why they are, and to say the prayers in my own voice with no script. They're more sincere that way for me, and they're more heartfelt, and it allows me to inject any special needs or special intent that I may have. It makes the connection more genuine for me. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I've had somebody ask me once, well, can you do that? Don't you have to pray in Spanish, or don't you have to pray in Yoruba? And my answer would be the same as when somebody asked me if I can do a reading over the phone. If Orunmila or the universe or the Orisha don't understand my prayer because it's in English or Spanish or insert your language here, then we're practicing the wrong philosophy. Then it means that we are not connecting things that transcend language, race, sexual orientation, political orientation, etc., etc. The most important thing is to take the time to do it every day, to be sincere about your intent, to be focused, to not be distracted. I can't stress that enough. That's why we try to do it in the morning before the distractions happen. I promise you that with everything else in Ifa, if you begin to do this daily, you begin to make it a part of your life, you begin to ask to strengthen the connection to these energies, and you begin to ask them to guide your life and to help you make life better for you and those that you love, that when you look back down the road, the results will be immeasurable for you, and life will be that much better. As always, you can feel free to email me questions through YouTube or through the IFA Foundation. And until next time, take care of yourself and take care of each other.